Hey there! Welcome to Queer Kid Stuff. I'm Lindsay.
Can we play that last sound effect again, please?
And today I'm talking to the grown-ups about the importance of LGBTQ+ representation in children's media.
Clarification needed.
All are part of one big family. Gaming's happy. Queer kid stuff. You are enough here at Queer Kid Stuff.
Hey there, grown-ups. Okay, today we're talking about something near and dear to my heart. LGBTQ+ representation in children's media.
Whoa. Stop right there. Lindsay, I want to have a conversation with you. Your show is aimed at children. And first, I need to know what the core demographic of children you're looking at is. Because judging by the shows of yours that I have seen and the way you talk and explain things, you're aiming at young children.
This ties directly into our mission here at Queer Kid Stuff, where we are imagining a kinder and more equal future through our videos. Right now, there is a serious lack of LGBTQ+ representation in children's media.
You are talking to children, and you are using terms regarding sexual orientation. Does this not make you think in the slightest bit that you need to aim towards an older audience?
Steven Universe and now Julie's Green Room on Netflix are the only shows for kids with legitimate LGBTQ+ representation.
So that's about maybe 1 or 2 in 2,000 to 4,000 shows. No, that's adequate representation.
That is specifically geared towards kids. We've already talked about the queerness in Steven Universe, and in Julie's Green Room, one of the young puppet characters is gender nonconforming, which is so cool.
The only differences between little boys and little girls is one shakes when they're done peeing and one wipes front to back. How do you not conform to one of those two things?
Otherwise, there are a few one-offs like the moms on Good Luck Charlie on the Disney Channel, and now LeFou in the live-action Beauty and the Beast. But these aren't enough. And to be perfectly honest, a lot of it is queerbaiting.
Queerbaiting does not have anything to do with media representation. Queerbaiting is this. Let's say I think you're a gay man and I'm a straight man, and I attempt to make you think that I'm interested in you and lead you on to believe that I'm interested, only to get you to reveal things so that I can out you or ridicule you. That is queer baiting.
That's when a show teases that characters might be LGBTQ+ and drop small hints about their sexuality, but never actually acknowledge or follow through on confirming their LGBTQ+-ness. They usually do it to bring in a more queer or liberal audience that might not have watched that TV show or movie otherwise. And when kids are watching these stories, those small queer moments usually fly by them without a second glance. It's hard to really call this LGBTQ+ representation for kids when they might not even notice it.
I just want to throw this in there so that you realize what you're kind of saying. You're saying children should know what sex is, should know what sexuality is.
If you think about all the press Beauty and the Beast got for its gay moment with LeFou, you need to remember that kids aren't reading those news stories or press releases in order to get the context that LeFou is intended to be queer.
Kids don't care about the news. They're kids.
The moment in the movie is so fleeting that most kids probably didn't notice unless a grown-up pointed it out to them. And even if they did notice, it wasn't a central plot point in the movie, and LeFou is a villain character.
Yeah, because to you it's okay to make a movie around sex for children, right?
It's actually pretty common for Disney to use LGBTQ plus stereotypes in their villain characters, like Ursula, who was actually modeled from a drag queen.
Hey kids, did you know that villain was a drag queen? Hey mommy, what's a drag queen? Oh, that's a man who dresses in woman's clothing. Oh, why would they do that?
There's also Scar, Hades, and Jafar. Associating stereotypical LGBTQ plus characteristics with villains leaves kids with the idea that queerness itself is inherently evil.
Or just assuming that kids don't understand it yet. They're too young.
You can compare the few examples of actual positive LGBTQ plus representation in children's media with the hundreds and hundreds of movies and TV shows for kids that focus on romance between a boy and a girl.
When I first watched this video, this section right here, the way you talk about heterosexuality being too normal makes it sound like you want heterosexuality to be abnormal.
You can see this in nearly every Disney movie. Children's media has a huge bias towards heterosexual storylines.
Children's storybooks are written to emulate the most common, most appreciated points of life and put them in a story that a child will understand, i.e., growing up, finding somebody to love, and having children.
This leads to a lot of problems, because the larger purpose behind art and storytelling is for us as humans to see ourselves reflected back to us.
I think you have art backwards. Art is a mode of expression from the person creating the art.
And seeing your story and identity explored through art is incredibly validating. Kids who are or might become LGBTQ+ do not see themselves reflected in their stories right now. Kids who aren't and might not become LGBTQ+ are less likely to empathize with LGBTQ+ people because those identities are unfamiliar to them. This leads to bullying and increased rates of suicide and depression in LGBTQ+ youth, and that is unacceptable.
I will agree that the bad things, the suicides, the depression, these are unacceptable and we need to work on them, not indoctrinating younger children.
The LGBTQ+ community has made huge strides in representation in adult media, but right now it feels like we're taking a huge step back in quantity and quality when it comes to children's media.
Lindsay, you go on to say you do not want to live in a world where straight is the immediate assumption. More than 99% of the world is straight. Most animals, most of the planet is straight, heterosexual, for the purpose of procreation. And yes, some of us do understand that there is a community of adults who choose a different sexual orientation. However, it is mostly the same community that do not want young children learning about sex or sexual orientation until they reach an age where it is appropriate for them to learn. Now I want to end this stating that this is a conversation. This is not a piece to negate anything you've tried to say. This is a conversation presenting an argument against the age range you are broadcasting to. Words don't hurt. Actions do.